morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're wondering, what is that behind Sharon and where exactly is she? Well, there's a good chance that a good number of you watching right now have been driving for several years, maybe a decade, maybe even more. But the question is, are you really a good driver? And do you know what the safety rules are? We're going to learn a lot today, from the safety rules. Are there things that you should be concerned about when it comes to your car? How often should you have checkups? And then at the very end, we're also going to go and get into a TT club, which I'm so curious to get into. And it's sort of like Fast and the Furious stuff, which is going to be cool. But right now, I'm at AA Embakasi, and I have got Nixon Jambere with me, who is about to break down what it means and what it takes to have a great operational vehicle when we're out on the road.
Yeah.
Welcome, Nixon. Oh, well, actually, I should say thank you for having me.
Thank you very much. You're very much welcome.
All right. So
Yes.
I'm going to be honest. I think I've been driving for 10 years now.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if I would be able to tell you for a fact
Yeah.
that I know everything that I
Uh-huh.
need to know when it comes to making sure that my car is appropriate and you know in the best shape to be on the road.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to ask you all the questions that
sure.
I probably should have asked 10 years ago
Wow.
when I got my license.
Yeah.
So first things first,
Yeah.
should I trust my mechanic and everything he says?
Now, depends with the mechanic
Yeah.
and exactly because we have qualities that we have to look for at the mechanics and at the garages, because at times you might go to the garages
Yeah.
and we have some of these guys who, what I might say, it's a monkey see, monkey do. So the way they were inducted into the business, they came saw what other people were doing,
Yeah.
and they picked it up from there.
Right.
For example, some mechanics will tell you, remove the thermostat from your vehicle. And
Okay.
the question is, should you remove it?
So, I mean, if obviously I've not studied cars and the mechanics of it. So what are some of the things, the basics that I should know without feeling like I've had to read a car manual from back to front?
Yes. Now, as a good driver, you need to perfectly well understand your vehicle.
Okay.
And to understand your vehicle, we have things that we have to do daily to the vehicle. We have scheduled services and maintenance and checks for the vehicle. And for you, when you start from that point, then you'll be able to become a better driver.
Right.
When we come to service and inspection of the vehicle,
Yeah.
we have pre-trip inspections, whereby every day before you leave the vehicle,
Yeah.
we have pre-trip inspections, things that you must check
Every day, Nixon.
every day before the vehicle moves.
Raise your hand if you check every day. I know I definitely don't. What I do though is I have a sense of my car. So I can feel whenever I'm like, oh, the brakes aren't just the way I feel like they usually are, or something doesn't sound right. Is that good enough for the pre-check to be, for you to listen
That's
out?
good enough, because you might only be feeling from the brake pedals, but how about if your vehicle has the brake fluid? Have you checked the brake fluid? Because you might need to know something about the brake fluid, which will help you to understand why is that vehicle behaving that way
All right.
from the pedal.
Okay, so let's start with the pre-checks. And I'll try my best to do this every day.
Yes.
And if not, maybe every other day. But what are the pre-checks?
Now,
Yeah.
when it comes to
Daily checks, yeah.
daily checks of the vehicle, the first thing before you ever leave your compound or wherever you had parked your vehicle, the first thing is to do a circle of safety check. Go around the vehicle.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's how you know. Is there
Yes.
like a puncture, low
Yes.
pressure?
Yes. You'd like to see, is my
Scratches.
vehicle, any scratches, anything, any problem that has occurred to the vehicle while I had already
Yeah.
parked
Are
up.
there mirrors, side mirrors
Yes,
missing?
you want to
wheel
look
caps?
at all those components when
Okay.
you are doing the circle of safety.
Okay.
That's where we start. And this inspection of the vehicle, we have things that we do when the engine is off and things that we do when the engine is on. Then we also have other vehicle accompaniments that you also have to check.
Okay.
So with the safety check, you want to check the vehicle. For example, you want to know also, how is the weather affecting the paint of the vehicle? Is the paint peeling off? This will still affect your vehicle. These are part of the components that you have to check.
Wait,
on
the
your vehicle.
paint will
Yes.
affect the car?
Yes. If
the paint is
poor-
peeling, it will affect
Yes.
the
Yes. All these
vehicle.
will tell you something.
Okay.
Something such as your initial question, should I trust my mechanic? Now, if your mechanic did a poor paint
Yeah.
job on the vehicle,
Oh, right,
at
of
times
course.
the paint will
Yeah,
start
yeah.
peeling
Okay,
off.
I get
so
it.
That's, yeah.
Okay.
Again, why are we doing the circle of safety check? Now, you might say in a compound where you have children,
Yeah.
And at times children might play, and some of them are under
I've seen
the
that. I've seen
yeah.
I've seen the pictures of, like, you know, these monster cars, and then there's a
Yes.
kid that like that's right underneath, which is
Yes.
terrifying.
Yeah.
To think that that could lead to, I mean, the worst freak accident you could imagine.
Exactly.
All right. So once you do the, you know, circle of
Circle of
inspection,
safety check, which
so-
also includes, do you want to drive a dirty vehicle?
No, but there's no way I'm washing my car before I come and film Living with Pets.
Good.
So
Yes.
I'm curious to know, what are the checks that you do once the car is on?
Now, before we can go to putting the vehicle on,
Yeah.
we might first of all want to open the bonnet
Okay.
and check some few other components. For example, now, once I undo the latch of the vehicle,
Yeah.
then I can come and open the bonnet.
Okay.
On opening the bonnet, remember to position it safely so
Yeah.
that the hood doesn't come back crashing on you.
Okay.
Now, once we open the bonnet, we have quite a lot of components that we need to check on this vehicle.
Yeah.
Maybe before I can continue, is this vehicle a petrol or a diesel vehicle?
Oh, Nixon, why are you asking me hard questions at this time of day? I'm the one asking questions here, sir. Okay, Fidel, maybe you could tell me. Just help me cheat, Fidel. Fidel is behind the camera, and I'm trying to tell him to.
Good. Now,
It's petrol.
yes,
Ah,
this is a
got
petrol
it.
vehicle. Yes. Now, before we can be able to move off the vehicle, we have several components that we need to check on the vehicle. For example, we need to check on the battery. On our battery, you need to look at the condition of the battery. Now, this one, we need to do some wiping on this battery. There's a
Okay.
bit of
Yeah.
dusting on it.
Okay.
It's not good if you keep on driving when we have
It's
this.
dusty. I know that
Yes.
this should be quite tight. I used to have an
Yeah.
issue with my car because this would
Now-
come out.
Now, we have the positive terminal
Yeah.
and we have the negative terminal.
Yeah.
The positive terminal, if you can see, it might even have some covering on
Yeah,
it.
okay.
This is the one that should always be tighter.
Tight.
And when you look, this one is huge
Yeah.
and this one is smaller.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
This is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal.
Yeah.
You have to inspect the terminals. At times they get rust, at times they get dust.
Okay.
This one will be fixed tighter, but at times it might not be that excessively
Okay.
tighter.
So,
Yes.
so Nixon, I just want to jump a little first,
yes,
and I
yes,
want to ask, now that we're here,
Yeah.
I know that there's certain fluids that
Yes.
every time I go to a petrol station, they're like,
Aha.
oh, do
Yes.
you need coolant,
Aha.
water, you
Yes,
know,
yes, yes,
so oil. Can you
Aha.
break down
Yes.
how often you should have them,
Aha.
or how often you should even have it checked?
Aha.
And if it's really important. For instance, instead of
sure.
coolant, can you just put water?
Aha, good. Now, the fluids that you are talking of, there's quite a lot of fluids that we can talk of.
Yeah.
If I start mentioning them, we can look at each one of them.
Yeah.
It will be quite important. Now, here we have washer fluid
Yeah.
for our windscreen wiper.
Okay.
Here we have the coolant. Here we have the brake fluid and
Okay.
also the power steering,
Yeah.
which at times we can have it from around there.
Okay.
Now, if we have to check the vehicle, we also have the oil.
Okay.
Now, if we are checking the coolant,
Yeah.
your question was, should I put water or should I put the
Coolant.
coolant? The advice is, it's better if you are able to put in the coolant. Why? Because coolant has some qualities which prevent rusting and corrosion within the engine.
Okay.
But water, at times people will even put water,
Yeah.
but the water is from the borehole and it's possibly hard water,
yeah,
salty
yeah,
water.
yeah.
And this will again come and
Yeah.
interfere with your engine.
Okay.
So you need to consider that. And when you are putting in coolant, we have a level which is for maximum and minimum, or also full.
So yeah. So
Now-
so would you say it's important, because usually when these
Yeah.
things are happening, sometimes it's easy to get comfortable in your car, and that's when you're checking your missed calls and everything.
Yes.
Would you say it's important for someone to come up and be like, let
Yeah.
me confirm that there's really no oil. Let me see that you.
Yes, yes.
Right?
These are very important. The vehicle operates just similar to the human body.
Okay.
Your human body, it needs blood.
Yeah.
The blood needs to circulate to be able to take the important nutrients to the entire body
Okay.
to improve
Yeah.
on. Yeah. Now,
All right,
if we
okay.
get to compare that with the vehicle, you need to check these fluids, very important.
Yeah.
For example, the coolant, we say something on it. How about the oil? The oil is also very important.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to the oil, you need to open, but as you are trying to open, before you can open your vehicle, where has it been? Do you have some dust which is here?
Okay.
So if you have some dust, what you'll want to do first of all is wipe off.
Okay.
Wipe off any dust which is here, because once you remove the dipstick, you don't want the dust to go back.
To go inside.
Yeah. So you'll start by that. Then
Okay.
after that, you remove your dipstick. Once you remove your dipstick, the first thing you do, you wipe. Yes.
Yeah.
After you wipe, you are supposed to check several things on your oil. For example, number one, the color of the oil.
Yeah.
Now, what would you say about the color of this oil? Should we change? Should we? What would you advise?
I think it's good.
Aha, now.
I'd like to trust that you've got good oil.
Yeah, this is from the color of this oil.
Yeah.
It's at least average, based with the kilometers.
What color should it be?
Now, this one, if it turns to become black color, it means either we need to change the oil or there's a problem. But this one,
it looks fine. All right, okay. So you look at color, and I imagine you also look at where it sits, right?
You also look at that. But there's something else.
Okay.
When was the last time after you removed your dipstick that you did touch to feel the
Oh, you even have to feel it?
Yes, you have to feel it so that you can now feel the viscosity of the oil.
Yeah.
Apart from viscosity, you also at times need to feel some sediments which are settling
okay,
inside.
So you need to, there's just, okay, so there's three things to consider.
There's also checking at times if at times fuel is mixing with the oil. So at times you can bring it close to you and
smell it.
Exactly.
So you look at the color, you look at the amount,
Yes.
you touch it and feel it, and you smell it.
Yes.
Got it.
That's part of that.
Yeah. So I want to ask about this one as the last one before I ask about the tires. What goes in here?
Now, this is the radiator cap.
Okay.
Now, here most of the people, what they'll do, they'll put coolant through here.
Yeah.
But advice mostly is don't put coolant through here, put it through here.
Okay.
This one connects to the upper radiator hose, which takes us to the radiator, which is here.
Okay.
Then behind the radiator, we also have the fan belt.
Yeah.
Now, this is some component which is very important because at times it fails.
Okay.
Most of the drivers don't know how to check on this.
Yeah.
When you are replacing, remember to replace it with the right one. On top here, it's been written the type of pressure that when you are replacing that you should have. Now at this moment, this one is a bit hot. I don't want to open it.
Okay,
right
so we won't open.
But when you are checking, there's a rubber band which is on it, which you also check. At times when it gets worn, your engine might start to hit.
Okay.
But a lot of people will not check on that.
So I want us to jump into tires before we go on break because I know we're running short on time.
Yes.
And I have to start off by saying recently, maybe 2 months ago, I had a really bust tire. I mean, it had so many punctures, so I decided to buy a new one.
Yeah.
And the person I went to help me figure that out said, "Oh, it's okay. You can just buy this second-hand tire." Which later, upon calling my father, he was like, "You did what again? Why didn't you call me before?" Anyway, long story short, about 2 weeks ago, I'm driving. I hit a pothole slowly. Not even, it wasn't even major. But I mean, the tire burst terribly. I had to swerve off the road. It was terrifying. So take me through maybe 1, 2, 3 things that you should consider when looking at tires before.
So we'll look about the tires. Now, you are the one doing the interview, but let me ask you some questions which will help the viewers.
All right.
Now, before you buy a tire, what should you consider? What do you need to consider before you buy a tire? Because before you fix this tire of the vehicle, you have some components you must think of so that you buy the right tire for your vehicle.
Okay.
Now, I think by now you must be a vehicle mover. You are not a driver.
Why are you throwing shade, Nixon? We were doing so well.
Good.
I'm a vehicle mover, not a driver.
Good. So now let's talk about the tires.
All right.
Before you buy the tires, number one, you want to consider, what tires do I need? Do I need all-terrain? Do I need all-weather? Do I need mud tires? Do I need tires based with the conditions that I am at?
Okay.
So that's the first thing to consider before you buy. Then after you buy your tires, you also need to consider, when was this tire manufactured? For example, if your tire, if you bought a tire which had already exceeded the date or which has already expired.
Tires expire?
Yes, tires do expire. But a lot of people don't know that. Now, tires do expire, and what you'll always find, you'll get a date that's written on the tires. In this case, this is the date here.
Oh my gosh. All my life, I've never, wait, that says 12/17.
Now we have
so that's when it's expiring?
Now, what you can see here, there's something which by now, which
what year are we in? We're in 2019.
Now, when you see this number here,
yeah,
it's giving us the date of birth, the date this tire was manufactured.
That can't have been made in 1217.
Now we need to understand what 1217 means.
Oh, so it's not the year.
Yeah, now,
Nixon.
yes, it's not 2017, but in there we have the year. But before we get the year,
Yeah.
the first two numbers,
Yeah.
they give us the week the tire was manufactured.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So
if-
December.
Now,
The
no,
week or what?
Week,
The
exactly.
week.
The
So
week.
that must have been around March? End of
Yes,
March?
exactly, because
Okay.
1 month has 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
if we are to do some calculations, if we divide this by 4, this should give us approximately around either the last week of March or the first week of
April. And
so that's
17,
when
yeah.
17 gives us the year of manufacture. Now, based with the DOT requirements for tire standards,
Yeah.
17 gives us from 20 or from 2000 there.
Yeah.
So this is a tire manufactured in 2017.
Yeah.
Now, a tire, most of the people will say a tire expires after 4 years. So this tire, if it was manufactured in 2017, add 4 years
You
there.
have 2 more years.
Yes, so
you have 2 more years
we
with
are
this
currently
tire.
in 2019, so we still have 2 more years before this tire expires.
Who knew that? Please, if you knew that, please hit us up on social media, whether that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Just let us know if you knew what those numbers meant, because that's blown my mind. All right, I don't know if we have much time, Nixon. I don't know if there's like 1, 2 quick points you can give us when it comes
Wow.
to tires.
Now,
or
tires,
just,
there's still more.
Yeah, so maybe you can give us one last tip very quickly before we go on break. You said something about the tire
Pressure.
pressure, okay.
Yeah, sure. Now, tire pressure, most of the people will kick
Yeah.
thinking that's the right way of checking the tires, which is the wrong way.
Yeah.
You need a tire pressure gauge,
Okay.
which we have 3 different types. Then come and open the tire
Okay.
nozzle cap. Once you open, then on
Yeah.
this end,
Yeah.
you can insert.
Okay.
On inserting,
Yeah.
we can see this device or the gauge
Yeah.
has been brought from the outside. Just a moment.
I'm not sure I understand.
Now, okay, it's going to work. Now, if I can just explain.
Yeah.
Now, on one end, we have tire in PSI, on the other one with kilopascals. So this
Okay.
is what is supposed to help you to know how much pressure your tire has
Without having to go to a petrol station.
without having to
Oh.
go to a petrol station. So this is very important.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Nixon, why don't you give me one more tip, maybe this time around air pressure, before we go on break? Because I know we're back for time.
Good,
so
good.
How often should we check it?
Now, tire pressure, it's mostly advisable to check them depending on the conditions, but most probably, let's say once a week or twice a week will be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Oh, once or twice a week. All right, Nixon, thank you.
Welcome.
Like, you've given me a nice rundown, although I think even during the break, I might ask you to go over it again so I really know.
Yeah.
Because no one wants to just be ignorant about this, especially when these are the vehicles moving us from point A to B, and we put so much trust in them.
Okay, okay.
All right, so we've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll get to know a little bit more about AA's history, and then I'll be put to the test, and I'll see, am I even a good driver? What did you call me? A vehicle mover?
Yeah, sure. By now, we'll see once we go back to the board if you do understand the road signs and many other things. If you understand your vehicle, we will classify you as either as a driver. If you don't understand the road signs, the rules of the road, how to manage the vehicle, you come in as a vehicle
mover. All right,
Yeah.
Nixon, let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment.
Thank you very much.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. So as we continue to try and explore what it means to be a good driver, you know, of course, we had to come to the epitome, to the where it ultimately starts for anyone who wishes to get a license, and that is AA Kenya. I've got Timothy Kelly here with me, who's the head of business development. He's the head of business development here. Thank you for having us.
Welcome.
So, Timothy, I'm not going to take too much of your time, so I'll just jump right into it. But I recently learned that AA isn't simply, you know, a space to try and make sure that drivers are, you know, sticking to the safety rules and the guidelines, but that there's more to it. Can you explain what AA Kenya is about? Because I just thought it was, you know, about safety.
AA Kenya is a champion of road safety in
Yeah.
Kenya. So we look at road safety in totality,
Okay.
not just driver. And we do a lot of things towards that.
Right.
Of course, road safety begins at the learner driver education, which is
Right.
what we call the driving school. Just one component of what we do.
Yeah.
And the origin of AA Kenya is that it was started by people who had vehicles, who started having vehicles in this country. The people that started charting the way from Mombasa to Nairobi were the people who did Mombasa Road.
Yeah.
And we later raised funds to have it tarmacked.
Whoa. Wait, so how long has AA been in existence?
Since 1919. So
1990. Oh, it's 100
it's 100
years.
years. It's 100 years.
Oh,
Thank you.
that's incredible.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I can only imagine. Okay, so you were saying it started back in 1919, right?
And the whole idea was to take care of all the interests of the motorists that were there at the time, in terms of charting routes, in terms of fuel management, in terms of getting learner driver education, in terms of rescue assistance in case of a breakdown on the way. And we've developed over time to include other services, including international affiliations with FIA. We work under the umbrella of Federation International de Automobile. This is the umbrella body for all the AA clubs in the world.
AA club?
Yes.
Okay.
So we, through FIA, offer certain services that are very unique to us. One of them is the IDP, the International Driving Permit. If you want to go and drive outside this country in a vehicle, we will be able to give you an international driving permit. AA Kenya will also give you what we call a car passport. And when you want to travel outside, you get a passport for yourself. If you want to go with your car, we're able to give you a car passport. It's called the Carnet de Passage.
I had no idea. I knew about the international driving license, but I didn't know about the car passport.
The car passport as well.
So I've got to ask, I mean, AA has been in existence for 100 years, which again, that's incredible. And I know over the past few years, there have been certain causes or changes that have been championed, not just even locally, but worldwide, you know. So of course, at first was something like don't drink and drive. There was wear your seatbelts. I remember that coming out really strong. There was don't text and drive. Is there another similar campaign or like road safety initiative that AA is trying to rally behind, or drivers generally tend to fall into or prey to?
One of the developments that happened is that we started what we call defensive driving. And defensive driving is now the second stage after the learner driver, where we teach the driver how to manage the road conditions and to be able to manage their vehicle regardless of other road users' behavior and regardless of the conditions of the road, the climatic conditions. It's what is called in some countries smart driving.
Oh, interesting. But here it's called defensive driving. Is it in Kenya only?
Yes.
Or? Oh, okay.
It's in Kenya. We've been doing this for a couple of years now, where we also do executive driver training. If somebody has a driver and they want them to be taking care of CEOs in terms of being able to take them around. We also started a campaign for the matatu industry, where through FIA we were able to train matatu drivers and touts about safety of the road. And the reasoning was to say, if an accident happens, who is likely to be the first person to arrive there? Most likely to be a matatu. So we need them to know what to do in the event of an accident. How do you handle the victims? How do you... Because sometimes we hurt victims trying to help them.
That's true.
So that's a program that we did as CSR, as part of giving back to the society, to say it was under the program called Msamaria Mwema. And now we trained some of them, and we trained some of them to be trainers of others.
I love that. I love that. So that you're equipped, especially something like a matatu, there's more than just, one or two passengers in there. It's 16, sometimes 32, depending on how big the bus is. So that's incredible. But I have to, as we end, because I know we're about to speak to one of your instructors, but as I was coming in, I saw this wall, and it looks like the wall of fame, or like or history, really.
This is part of our historical pictorial gallery.
Isn't it?
In the middle here we have the portrait of Lionel Douglas Galton Fancy. This is the man that started AA Kenya.
That's so interesting.
In 1919.
Look, 1902. Those are the kinds
this
of
was the Mercedes
relic cars.
in 1902.
Boy, have times changed. Look at that. Oh, when was that? 1984?
Yes.
You know, later we're going to speak to someone who's in like fast, sort of, not really rally, but what is it? TT? He's going to explain it to me. But basically what they do is like, it's almost like Fast and the Furious, but with privates. So I'm curious to see what he's going to say about that. But that's really cool. All right. Okay. Well,
this was, I think, during one of the events back then.
oh, wow. Interesting. All right. Well, Timothy, I know you don't have too much time, so I'm going to say thank you. And I guess I'm going to head over to speak to one of your instructors so that I can really get into it. And I'm sure he'll even take us through defensive driving a little bit more because I'm curious to hear more about that. All right. Thanks,
I'll
Timothy.
give you more details about that.
All right. So let's head over and get
you.
to like really learn about what are some of the changes that we have taken place. How do we become better drivers so that we're keeping ourselves and our families and friends safe on the road, and strangers too, because you don't just think about yourself, it's other people
it's
too.
about everybody else out
Yeah.
there.
All right, so come on, let's go. Thanks,
Thank
Timothy.
you. Thank you.
All right, so we're here at AA Embakasi, and I've got Julius Odiaga, who's an AA driving instructor. And I have to say, Julius, I'm a little nervous about about being here because this takes me back to about 10 years ago when I had to do these tests, and you know, there's a class and there's people watching, and you're like, oh my God, which way did we say we'd go? So please take it easy on. Let's go easy.
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, I would love to welcome you people at AA Embakasi. Thank you for coming to AA Kenya. This is a driving school. Remember, this is a ISO certified driving school in Kenya. And for real, we normally do a lot of things, especially when it comes to road safety. We really give it the first priority.
Okay.
Simply because when you go to our statistics about toll rates in an accident, you find that about 80%, 85% of the accidents which are caused by our drivers, it is human error. That is human error.
That's so interesting, 80%. So what, can you give me like the top 3 errors or mistakes that drivers often
Yes, I
make?
can.
Okay, tell me.
For one, most of, like, as you said before, about 10 years when you left the driving school, maybe you've never refreshed.
I'm so scared, please don't make me rephrase because I can't deal
But
with it.
now I want to show you some of the things that maybe you went through last time when you were doing your driving, but you forgot them.
Okay, let's see.
And these things are very minor, but very harmful. They can harm us.
Let's see.
Especially when it comes, this is a model town board.
Yeah.
This model town board, this is where the big problems is, especially when it comes to drivers, especially matatu drivers.
Yeah.
Especially, let's say like these lanes. Each lane and every lane has got where it's supposed to be going.
Yeah.
And most of our drivers, they don't follow those options. They don't follow the restriction how it's supposed to be done.
Right.
For example, you find that a driver changes lanes in the roundabout, which you are not supposed to do that. And when you do that, already you're obstructing other road users. And you will agree with me. Police officers normally arrest some drivers who normally stop with near the junction.
So would you say that's one of the things, not observing the...
Entering the wrong lane, existing in the wrong lane, without knowing which lane you have and which lane you are supposed... We don't normally follow the observation, how it's supposed to be done, stopping anyhowly, just speaking people, maybe...
But can I also say, Julius, that I found that you following the rules, not that I'm saying don't, I think you should, but you'll find people hooting at you if you are observing traffic lights or if you are not, trying to be as quick as the rest of the drivers. And then sometimes I've even heard people say, it's all you slow, good drivers that cause accidents because you're just taking your sweet time. What would you say?
Yes, it is true. But mostly, after you have gone through our refresher courses, we'll show you the way to go forward. For example, I'll teach you how to use the road, thinking that you are the best driver after you have known this. Meaning, you don't trust any driver on the road. You don't trust anybody.
Is that part of defensive driving?
Yes, it is.
Because I heard about Timothy was just saying that.
Do you know the reason why you normally cause just minor accident like that?
Yeah.
Simply because I expect you to do what I want you to do.
Okay.
Maybe you didn't go to school, but you just kanyaga mafuta, move. Just brake, the vehicle stop, then from there you clap yourself. Now you are a good driver, which you are not.
Yeah.
Secondly,
Yeah.
you know people talking about that I've been driving for the last 10 years, 30 years without causing an accident. Do you know what? It is other road users who has been taking care of you. And this is the term what that have you saying that make sure you assume you are the best driver worldwide.
Yeah.
So that whoever who just drive the way he thinks, after you see doing that, because he's going to change lanes, from there you stop, let him go. From there, he thinks that now you are the wrong driver. You don't know what you are doing. He does not know it is you who has been taking care of him.
So I get it. So even if you're being good and observing traffic rules,
yes,
it doesn't mean that you just think of yourself. You've got to think of others. For you to
very
be the
true.
ultimate
Very,
driver.
very true. Very true.
I get it.
Yes.
Okay, so can you break down a little bit of what it means to be a defensive driver? Because that term to me is still, I still don't understand. What does a defensive driver really mean?
A defensive driver means, number one, in short, is to save lives, to save limbs, to save money and the time.
Wait, say that again. To save lives, to save
limbs,
to save money
and the time.
All right, okay.
When you come for it, I'll teach you how to save your own life first, before I teach you how to save somebody's life. Because there's no way I teach you how to save somebody's life when your life is in danger. After you are through with that, I'll teach you again how to save your limbs first. Then as we move on, I show you everything about time, the value of that time, and the money.
Okay.
That's what it's all about, defensive.
Okay, so I've got to say, I was with your colleague earlier, Nixon.
Yes.
And he called me a vehicle mover, okay? And I'm not quite proud of that term. And I'm ready to prove him wrong, that I know a few things about it. Although already he showed me that I'm a vehicle mover because I don't do a daily check and everything. But I'm going to do better now. So can you give me a quick test, a simple test?
Yes, I will.
Just make it
Simple. Yes,
I'll
do it.
I'm so nervous.
You're so nervous. Don't. Please
I feel like I'm back at school. And
just drive this vehicle from here. Bring it here. From here, just drive it.
Okay, so I bring this car.
Yes.
Here.
Yes, bring it up to here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would then go like this.
I'll give you another one, the quick one. This one now. Another vehicle is here. So kindly drive this one behind this one here.
Oh gosh. Nick, okay, Julius, let me see which lane this is, first of all. The third lane.
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yes.
So I think I go.
Let's try.
And I go this way. And do I go round again? Oh, Jesus. I just. Have I failed?
No.
I've done it?
No.
Okay, wait,
it's a good trial. It's a good trial.
One more time.
But it's not the right one.
Okay, one more time.
Yes.
Wait, so this is 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Right? So, but if I go 1, 2, 3, do I go round the roundabout? But if I go round, I have to stick to. Oh God. Wait, 1, 2. Okay. Sorry, I can't reverse. Okay, let's just, don't do that thing where you tell me that I can't lift a car, okay? So let's just start again.
Yeah.
Do I go like this? I go
Let's see.
third.
Yeah.
And then do I, first of all, why is this guy like that? Okay, so
Let's
I go
see.
third, and then I cross over, and I come this way, and here I go to this lane, and did I get it?
You have tried, but still no.
I quit. You know what?
You quit.
Quit.
Then let me show you what
Who
you
needs
missed.
to be a good, let me tell you, I can be a car mover at this rate. You're just, it's heart attacks you're giving me here. What did I do wrong?
Here, from here, you did very good. But after here, you're supposed to do what? To keep left always.
Oh, come on.
Because you find that, especially on Thika Road, people normally take in the inner lane and they're moving at a speed of 40, 30. That is wrong. After there, you go where?
But maybe I was going very fast. You know, after this, I'm going to go to like one of these Gran Turismo TT club people who drive very fast.
Yes.
So maybe, who said I was doing a 40? Maybe I was doing, as per the speed limit, I was doing 60. And I came this quickly.
That's true, but remember our rule, the rule of the road in Kenya is to keep where?
Left.
So that's what you did. Then after that, you did here the same. When you are here, you cannot just come and change from here. This continuous white line does not allow you to do what? To change.
Yeah.
You are only allowed to change when there's a broken white line.
Yeah.
Of which that means you are supposed to look for this lane so that you take the inner lane and come back here. That's what you could have done. However, you have tried. You're not badly off. Remember, 100 steps, start with the first step.
Let me tell you, this is just not how I remember it. And can I just say, I'm so glad I'm not taking a class, but I shall strive to be better. And it seems like you offer refresher classes.
Yes, we do. We do.
I think we should do a whole show on refresher classes, because I bet you most drivers, I don't know if they'd be able to pass this test. And I have so many questions.
Yes,
For
please.
instance, going back here, am I really saving time if I go this way
You must
and
do
then
that.
this way?
You must do that.
But is it time?
You
Am
know
I
why?
saving time?
You know why? This is just the map. On the road is very far. That's why you have to go keep lane.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you know what? Let's just bring this car back
Yeah.
here. And at this point, I think we've got to take a break. Thank you so much. You've been such a great instructor. And I think you've helped unpack what defensive driving is about. I'll
Yes,
never
please.
forget. It's about saving lives, limbs, time
and money.
your money.
Yes.
Exactly. And I mean, at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want to say?
Yeah,
But
because it's to save lives
Yeah.
and be safe on the road.
Yeah. All right.
If most of the people comes for refresher courses, and by the way, as per the new curriculum,
Yeah.
the drivers are supposed to come for refresher courses before you renew your license. Is a requirement, by the way.
Yes.
There's a requirement, such requirement.
All right.
That means, in fact, before you do that, also the eyes must be checked by the doctor.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, so because most of the things like that which normally cause us accident is just minor things, like the human factors in driving, especially you like a lady, you are driving, maybe you are...
Excuse me, sir. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
I am a very good driver, and I don't put my makeup on as I drive. You know what? On that
How do you know I was driving trust there?
I know you were saying that. Julius,
But not you, but most of you people. That's what you know what you do?
No,
Okay, let me use your colleagues, our colleague, men.
Yeah.
Let's use men.
Yeah.
Cigarette. You know cigarette can cause an accident?
Oh, okay. There you
But
go.
remember something very minor.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think essentially what you're saying is to just be keen drivers and not just worry about your own safety, but consider others and what they're doing.
Yes.
All right, we've got to take a break. Thank you so much, Julius. This was such a lovely refresher course for me.
Thank
and
you
I
so
probably
much.
need to spend an extra 10 minutes
Please do
here
that.
with you.
Please do that.
Okay, we've got to take a break. When we come back, we'll meet a young gentleman called Washira, who in 2013 started a club, TT Motorsport, which I guess we're going to get to learn more about because it's all about like Gran Turismo, like Fast and the Furious, that kind of stuff. We'll be back in a moment.